Hi everybody, it's me, Catherine. This is part 2 of my video vodcast, my video podcast, and I just wanted to quickly and briefly outline and alter a few of the assignments that I'm going to give you. I want you to actually look through and review chapter 2. I like the particular book because off in the margin areas they have little tips about the actual chapters themselves. For example, on page 42, and I'm just randomly picking a page from chapter 2, it'll say, it'll talk about inclusive language, and then off to the side there'll be a little blurb about what that's about. So it's sensitive communicators avoid language that exclude people. And so I like the little blurbs off in the side, off in the margin area, and I also I like some of their tables and charts. Fabulous to read and to review, choosing communication channels, etc. But what I want to focus on today is the questions that I'm going to assign you. I'm going to alter the questions a little bit because I really want to know if you're understanding what we're talking about. And I suspect at this point everybody understands this because communication is somewhat natural and it's somewhat nurtured, like we discussed. On page 45 there are two questions, question 6 and question 7. Question 6 wants you to explain how a writer can make messages audience-oriented and develop audience benefits. Now, what the audience benefit is, you will find in that chapter, and it is kind of neat, but in essence, I'm considering my audience right now by video podcasting, because I sometimes realize that when you take an online course, you don't just want to read something. It's not as exciting as interacting and doing peer reviews and everything like that. You want to be challenged. So it does ask you to provide an original example of how a writer can make a message audience oriented and develop audience benefits. Except for I'm going to want you to give 5 examples, and they're not going to come from the book. You're going to have to apply what an audience-oriented message is, and you're going to have to figure out what the benefits are. So you're actually going to have to take what's in the book and find 5 scenarios. And I just gave you one. I'm actually considering my audience. You don't want to just read something. You want to hear it. You want to listen to it. You want to watch it. So 5 examples, and they're not going to come from the book. So the critical thinking that's actually going on here is, do you understand what a message that's audience oriented is? And I gave you a really good example. And how does it develop audience benefits? And you're going to have to give 5 examples. They're going to come from up here, okay? And I know everybody here has thought of things like when you public speak, how do you address an audience, when you write a letter, how are you, what is it you're thinking of when you're writing it? Are you thinking of your audience or are you thinking of yourself? And so that's going to be challenging. 5. I'm so cruel. The next one is question number 7. And question number 7 asks you to describe the 3 phases of writing. Well, the book calls them pre-writing, writing, and revising, and I just gave you the answer. So obviously that's not what I'm looking for. I'm really looking for you to explain in your own words what pre-writing is. What goes on in your mind when you're pre-writing? And then the actual writing, and then the revising. One thing I always love to teach people is the, I call it verbal vomiting. And verbal vomiting is where you just scroll everything you have in your mind down on paper. And then you go back and you organize it and you cross things out and you move things around and you do all of that. So I want you to describe using your words what pre-writing, writing, and revising are. Don't go to the book. Learn from the book, read the answer from the book, and then I want you to make that connection between point A and point B. And I think you can do it. And if you have a question, put question in the subject line. And if it's an urgent question requiring a 24-hour turnaround time, put urgent in the subject line. And I hope you guys enjoy the assignment. I hope you have fun with it. And if you have questions, you can also email your classmates. So there's a lot of options going on here. And you can post on the public bulletin board, which is also called the peer review board. So you can say, you know, questions for other classmates and send it out to everybody. Okay? So I'll talk to you soon, and I hope you guys have a great week and have a lot of fun with this. Thanks. See you on the net.